welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. So in case you can't tell, this actually isn't my kitchen. I have very kindly been lent the kitchen of a very special chap who stood right next to the camera. Do you want to come in? This is Justin, and you have a very beautiful house, don't you?
Cheers, man.
You're like, yes I do, yes I do.
No.
It is, I'm genuinely speechless. I'm going to leave all of Justin's information down below. His Instagram is incredible, and his house is equally as beautiful. So this video is kindly sponsored by Nespresso. They very kindly gave us some Nespresso pods to try out, and it's their new range of single origin espressos. They're absolutely incredible. I'm currently having one at the moment. I've got one in my hand. It's delicious. So if you guys want to check out Nespresso and the whole range, again, that'll be linked down below. But yeah, we're gonna make a 3-layer chocolate mocha cake. It's gonna have chocolate in the middle of it, have a lovely chocolate drip on top, some chocolate shards. It's gonna be very chocolatey, very coffee, two of the best things in the world. So grab a coffee, it's going to be a long one, it's getting bold. So for this recipe, in terms of equipment, all you're going to really need is a stand mixer. You're going to need some melted chocolate. I'm going to leave all of the ingredients down below. Weigh out in a bowl some flour and some baking powder, and I've got 6 eggs, and pop those in a bowl as well. I've got 6 large eggs, and apart from that, we're all good. Equipment, you're going to need a palette knife, which I've ridiculously forgot. So Justin's gave me some of his very fancy equipment here, and we're using 6-inch cake tins which I have lined with bacon parchment, and we've got 3 of these. That's literally perfect. So in a mixer you're going to want to add your butter and sugar, and you're going to want to crank the lid down and just get this nice and creamy. Use room temperature butter because it just mixes so much better than if you have cold butter. You're going to be on a month of some days. Once your butter is nice and creamy, what you're going to want to do is add your eggs. Now these are 6 large 3-inch eggs, and you're going to want to add them a little bit at a time. If you add them all in at once, it's going to curdle, and that is just a disaster that you really can't get yourself out of. So just add a little bit at a time, and then just pop your paddle back down, and then mix her on again. Start slow and then increase the speed. So like I said, if your mixer's looking like it's curdling, just grab yourself a couple of teaspoons of flour and just pop those in. This is just sieved plain flour. Always sieve your flour, guys, otherwise you get some lumps. And pop your mixer back on slow and mix away. So once you've added all of your egg into your stand mixer, then you're going to want to just literally beat it for a couple more minutes. Right, so then paddle down and then just give it another mix, just nice and slow to start. So then you want to add your melted chocolate. I literally just melted this over a pan of, or a pot. We are having a discussion about whether you call them pans or pots. Of melted chocolate, and then literally just pour it straight in. Leave it to cool, otherwise it will melt your butter. Pour it all in there. And then just pop the paddle down, and then just stir it again nice and slow, otherwise you're going to have chocolate everywhere. Oh mama. So once your cake batter is nice and mixed, you're going to want to add your Nespresso. So this is a double shot of Nespresso, and you're going to want 35 mils of espresso in there. So literally just grab 2 spoonfuls, and make sure your coffee's cooled. Oh, and I've got it all down the side. Or it's going to melt your cake batter. Right, lid down. Give it one last stir, and then you're all good. Once you've got your cake batter, you want to divide it equally between the 3 tins. You can weigh it if you want, if you've got some digital scales, but realistically just eyeball equal amounts into the 3. Just do a nice little portion in each. Oh god, this looks so good. And then just grab your spatula and just level out the tops. Again, this just helps the baking process, making sure there's no domes in the middle. It will rise a little bit, but not too much. So once they're in the tins, you want to bake them for about 30 to 35 minutes. Literally, you can tell when a cake cooks when you pop a little skewer in it, and if it comes out clean, it's good. But don't overbake them. Check them in half an hour, and don't open the oven door as well, because if you do, they will dip in the middle. And I mean, you can get around that, but we don't want that. So they're going to go in at 170, half an hour.
Fantastic.
So the cakes are out the oven. They're to my left. They came out really well. So they're cooling down now. I'm going to leave them for about 10 minutes and then leave them to do their thing. So now we need to get on with the frosting. We're going to do a nice coffee and chocolate buttercream, which is just going to be so delicious. So in the stand mixer, we've got some butter. We're going to add some icing sugar, some coffee and chocolate, and give it a good old mix. Once your butter's nice and creamy, you just want to add your icing sugar. Just add it bit by bit, otherwise it's going to get super messy. So once your buttercream is nice and creamy and you've got all of the ice and sugar incorporated, you're going to want to add your espresso. You can use any espresso. Instant coffee works as well, but obviously we're using the Nespresso original origin, single origin, and we're just going to pop a little bit in until it gets a nice dark colour and a lovely coffee flavour. So we're just going to pop a little in to start. So once your cakes have nice and cooled down, you obviously don't want to ice warm cakes, otherwise that's just a disaster waiting to happen. You want to grab some of your coffee that you've got left over from the buttercream and just brush each cake with the coffee. This just increases the flavour really gives it a nod that it is a coffee cake and also makes the sponges nice and moist. Okay, so I popped the cake onto a cake stand and then it's also on a cake board. It just means it's easy to spin. And so all I've done is just popped the sponge on there with a little bit of buttercream to stop it spreading around and trim the excess, and then just layered a nice thick amount of the buttercream in the middle. And then with the second cake, be really gentle because the cakes can be a bit fragile. You want to assemble it on top and trim off the excess so it stays nice and upright. If you have any overhanging edges, it's just going to look wonky. So and lay it on, and then just grab yourself a serrated bread knife that's got obviously the long edge, and then just trim around the excess as well to make sure it's all nice and neat. So once your cakes have layered in a nice 1, 2, 3, you want to grab some more frosting and just give it a top on the sides, and then make sure it's nice and even. Once your cake is all frosted, it's now gone in the fridge just to chill. That's called a crumb coat, and it basically just locks in all the crumbs and then keeps the outside nice and firm, so then you can do a nice layer and it's lovely and professional. Now we're going to do some chocolate bark. So I've just got myself a piece of baking paper and I've popped that on an upside down baking tin. And what you want to do is melt 2 types of chocolate. So I've got some lovely 70% cocoa dark chocolate here that I'm just going to spread all onto the baking tray. I just want a nice thick layer of it, so just really make sure you get all of that out. And then you're going to marble some white chocolate in amongst it and then literally leave that in the fridge as well to set, and then you can just chop that up. It's a really good present. If you don't use it as cake decoration, you can just wrap it up and give that to someone because it's a lovely little treat. And then you just want to do little dots of white chocolate in amongst the dark, and then just grab like a toothpick or a knife or just something that's got like a thin edge and just marble it around. So you just want to grab a knife and just swirl it all around. Don't go too crazy, but just make sure it's nice and incorporated. Do little back and forths all the way around. Okay, so for the chocolate ganache, which we're going to do is a nice little drip on the top. I melted 100 ml of double cream, and it's just say come to a boil. It's what's known as a simmer. And you just want to pour it over some finely chopped. You want to pour over some finely chopped dark chocolate, and just make sure it all gets covered, and then give it a nice whisk to make sure it's lovely smooth. So you just want to give it a stir, and make sure all of the chocolate's nice and coated. The cake is out of the fridge and it's had a second coat of icing and it's looking fairly smooth. I'm quite happy with that. And we've made the chocolate ganache, which is literally just melt the chocolate in the cream, which is what you guys just saw. And then all you have to do is just spoon some mixture onto the top, enough to cover the top of it, and then you want to smear it down the sides in the little drips. And it runs down. The cake is now officially dripped, and we're going to add some of the chocolate bark that we made earlier. You can use a knife or you can completely just tear it up, depends on what you want to do, but I'm literally just going to chop through it and get some nice little shards and just literally pop them in top like slices. What you want to do is just decorate the top with some shards. You can do some big pieces like that, just wedge it in, and then do some little pieces just around the side, and then you can eat the leftovers. So that's it guys, that is your mocha chocolate drip cake with walnuts, coffee frosting and some chocolate bark on top in kind partnership with Nespresso. If you want to check out Nespresso, I'm going to leave all the information down below. Thank you Justin.
You're welcome, mate.
He's literally behind the camera. And it's a beautiful kitchen. So if you want to check out more of the interiors, they are very, very nice. I'll leave Justin's link down below because it's amazing and he's doing so well. But yeah, let me know if you made this recipe, tag me in any Instagram pictures, I always love that. But that's it guys, I'll catch you guys very soon. Bye for now. Oh, I mean it sings to you. Scrape down the sides. Oh, don't lose the whole attachment. Once you've added all... It's my first time opening, this is the oven that we have in the bake. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I'm very excited. So once it come out, and then under, that's swish, moist. Nice moist cake, you're like, oh stop it. Soggy bottom and a moist cake, I'd be like, well, lovely. Fine chopped. Done!
It's a wrap!
Is that?